Welcome back to another Kick and Post video. Today we're going to be breaking down and giving our prediction on Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul. How you feeling today, Amal?
I'm feeling good, man.
Dude,
Don't get it twisted, Joe. Jake Paul's team is the A side on this one. Paul v. Woodley. This man's an underdog. Don't get it twisted. What are you doing? What are these fake kicks you're throwing? What the heck?
you're just getting too close, bro.
It reminded me of that Chael Sonnen video. I can't let you get too close. What he was on Ultimate Fighter against Wanderlei Silva. I think his name was.
I didn't see it.
Bro, hilarious meme. Um, but yeah, Paul v. Woodley. That card is in 3 days, August 29th, in Cleveland.
Cleveland, this is
Yep.
for you. Alright, that kick doesn't work.
Card is not a bad card. They have a women's featherweight championship bout on the bottom. Uh, the favorite is like a negative 2,000 favorite in betting odds, so doesn't
Nothing
seem
to
like
bet
it's
on.
supposed. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's supposed to be much of a match. But a lot of boxing fights are those types of odds. Um, it also has a really intriguing fight as the on the undercard as well. Tyson Fury's brother, Tommy Fury, fighting one of Jake's sparring partners.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
Tommy better win.
apparently, it is rumored that if Tommy wins his fight and Jake puts Woodley away, that's the next fight for both guys. I
That'd
don't know
be
if
interesting to watch. More of a boxing background.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if it's like in contract yet, but that's what the news has been. When Tommy agreed to be on the undercard, which I feel like he wouldn't agree to be on the undercard unless that is the plan, you know?
Gotcha.
As somebody who's trying to be a world class boxer. Not saying Jake isn't, but he's been on the traditional path for that somewhat. It wouldn't make sense for him to sign up to be that far on the undercard unless there's something in it for him on the back end. So
Yeah.
that is really intriguing, in my opinion, for Tommy v Jake. Hopefully, I think it's no surprise, or it might be. We both have Jake winning this fight.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done, man. I
Done
can't.
down the problem child.
Eat a problem. Ouch.
It seems like it, right?
Yeah.
What things have you seen? Because it's hard to say like we've seen a ton of progression because his fights haven't really lasted enough time for us to see much growth. But what can you say from the initial fight he had against Deji to now? What strides has he made, do you think, as a boxer?
well, I don't think he took the Deji fight very seriously at all. I mean, I probably wouldn't have either.
He
But
was really young too.
just maturity, I
Hmm.
believe. Uh, I believe he can put people away. He's not a small guy.
No. He has
Um,
improved his body a lot since that Deji fight. He's bigger, for
more
sure.
lean.
Yeah.
Um, and I think, like, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Jake Paul lose. Um, and Tyron Woodley sounded super, super confident in his interview with Ariel Helwani, who just recently
Yeah.
left ESPN, by the way.
Yeah, he's a BT sports guy now.
Um, but I just really can't see Jake losing. Like, they say his fights are rigged and stuff. Um,
Really?
I mean, they said the Ashton one was rigged. He took a fall.
I I do not see it that way, but
Neither do
you
I.
know,
I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
uh, it's definitely not for show. This fight is gonna be a war, and
yeah.
I just don't see Jake Paul losing it though. Tyron Woodley said like he's never had to go through what he's had to go through, all that stuff about privilege and stuff like that.
I mean that practically means nothing in the fight game. If you're a good fighter, you're a good fighter. Like yeah, having a struggle and having a background and being able to dig deep is nice, but like from a fighter's perspective, it doesn't really mean much technique wise. And Jake's shown it. Like Nate had a struggle to get to where he had to get to. He said he wanted to box, didn't take the sport seriously enough, got laid out.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think the two are comparable though. Like Nate
No,
Robinson.
Woodley's more of a fighter, obviously, and he's been welterweight champion of the world. His last four fights have been against four of the top six welterweights in the world, presumably. Um,
For sure.
Depending how
For
you
sure.
view UFC fighters in the mix, But Jake has shown the ability to just show great technique in there. The one thing I would have to question about this fight, though, is he hasn't fought anybody that hits like Woodley. So that is something to look at because man, you go back and watch some of Woodley's, um, especially his run to the title. This man put guys like Robbie Lawler out, demolished Till, um, just
Demolished Till
devastating with the
twice, no?
overhand right. I don't know. Did they fight twice?
I think so.
Um, but he has power in his hands. Oh, what a kick! I was winning the fight up to that point too. Um, Severe power in his hands, in my opinion. And Jake has been touched by people, but none of them have had power to make him really respect it. Hence why he keeps charging forward. I feel like Woodley has enough power to put him on his back pedal a little bit more in an exchange if he gets clipped with one of Woodley's punches.
So that was the end of that fight. We'll catch you guys in two soon. Yeah, like you were saying though, he hasn't felt the power that Woodley has in, I believe it's his left hand. Um,
He also waits for that overhand right a lot too, so
yeah,
like he'll try to feel things out and overhand right it.
and I don't know if that'll be a test. Like I feel like Jake's been hit before, whether it's been in sparring. I mean, I know that man trains crazy. That boy went to Puerto Rico to train.
Yeah, him and Logan are both out there. I don't know. I want to believe that Woodley would be the toughest hit he's faced in a what's it called, in an actual event. Of course, he's sparring people who hit hard, but to be in the event, to be in front of everybody in Cleveland and then expect to get your way, and if he hits you with something clean over the top, it could still ring your bell. That's where my standpoint is on that one. But like you can see in the Ben Askren fight, Ben landed a pretty clean shot over the top, but he has pillows for fists. So not Drake. Jake felt that and kind of just disrespected him after that. It was all pressure.
Right.
Um,
You
I
can
don't think he'll
you
be able
can
to.
when you don't feel it, you can just write it off.
Yeah, so I don't think he'll feel Woodley's and be like, okay, I'm gonna put myself in harm's way to get this knockout as easily. The one thing I give him the huge advantage on is technique. I've been seeing some of Woodley's training footage and what they're working on with him, and he still leaves a lot of gaps in his game, which of course he's a UFC fighter. It's hard to switch up those
Tendencies.
what's it called, practices and tendencies when you're throwing punches with the intention of possibly going for the takedown, or you have to be careful for other threats, right? Not just what's on the feet. It's hard to switch to completely like disregarding that.
Right. In his interview with Hawani, he said that he's had like some pretty bad lows, in terms of
I
like
bet.
not taking someone's back or loading up a kick. So we'll see how it translates into the ring, come the 29th. I'll actually be off for that fight, so I will be able to watch it, which I am pretty excited for. Probably won't pay for
Yep.
it, but you know.
Hey, don't mention no
Psych.
times now.
I always support
Um,
Showtime. Go
I'll
ahead.
be off as well. Uh, in time to catch it. I'm probably going to tune in as well. I think it's a big moment for the sport, especially for Jake, because if he comes out and performs well, um, it shows that he's taking the sport seriously. I mean, it's been showing already, in my opinion, but there'll be no denying it now if he goes through a war with Tyron or if he puts Tyron away quickly, that he's kind of here to stay. Um, this pay per view is a $60 pay per view. I think it's the most expensive pay per view that Jake's fought on because that last Triller one wasn't that expensive. I think it was 30 that last Triller one. So with him signing that Showtime deal, it's getting into the real numbers now. They know he could sell pay per views. Unlike that Social Gloves event that has been a bunch of ruckus since that was put on. They know that Jake brings in those numbers. So Showtime are investing a lot in him as well, I feel like. So this is a big fight for them because they put their chips on the line and gave him somebody who could actually give him a challenge, in my opinion. So,
You know,
uh,
it's weird hearing people on ESPN talk about this fight because
yeah,
they're still saying he's not fighting anybody of like talent. Like he
this dude's the champion, though. Like, I don't get it. Like, at what point, like, yes, he's an MMA fighter, and people are taking that because of what the last quote unquote MMA fighter did. It's like, who cares? Um, but this man was a champion in the biggest promotion in the world. Fought greats in that promotion,
chin ain't there though.
and yeah, that's part of the reason why I feel like it'll be a struggle too. He has taken some damage his last four fights. But again, it's not like he was fighting the bottom of that division. It's arguably for the top five guys in that division are the last four fights he's had. So
Right.
you know,
And
it,
Luke's right there now.
yeah. So it was
Top
Burns
five
who's top five. It's Kamaru who's the champ. It's Covington who's two, and Luke I would have it either five
or
or
four.
four, depending on Leon Edwards, right?
Right. Agreed.
Masvidal is actually up there as well, but I mean, once the champ is there, he's not really counted in the top five. So yeah, he's fighting world class talent. He lost to world class talent. He didn't lose to bums, so that's something to look out for as well in this fight. Again, he does have the skills still, in my opinion. I just feel like he doesn't have the right disciplines for boxing. And I feel like Jake, if he doesn't get touched with anything powerful, it's gonna pick him apart. And I think that his punches will surprise Woodley more than anything else. I don't see it going longer than 3 rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, I got Jake by knockout in the second round.
Yeah.
That's just
I,
how I see it.
um, Not to mention they have this crazy wager going on with this tattoo thing.
Hmm.
Jake already got the artist on deck with templates of what the tattoos are going to be. I feel like that's going to be in the back of Woodley's head because he's even mentioned it in interviews already about giving Jake a way out of the bet. Um, which the fact that he even has his mind on the bet right now is
Bad.
prime. Like that worked perfectly in Jake's favor, in my opinion. I feel like he shouldn't even be thinking about that right now. Be talking about, oh, I'll give him a way out of the bet to donate to my charity. You don't need to be worrying about the bet right now. You need to be worrying about Jake as a fighter. So Jake's winning the mind games. I think Jake has more of the skills in the discipline that they're going to go in there and fight, which is boxing. And I feel like he's the favorite by a decent. It's a decent favorite, -190. But I feel like he'll definitely cash out for anybody who bets on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I was about to
You
say
said a lot.
usually
Um.
that's funny.
Yeah. Well, I think that concludes this video.
Any closing thoughts on that boy, the problem child versus T Wood?
Mm, Woodley just better be ready for a right hand.
My thing is, I just wish the bet was for Woodley to stop rapping if he loses. That's
Ouch.
that's what I
That
wish.
boy talented. Usually a hater.
Mm. All I know is he dropped "I'll beat your ass." Walked
After
out
he
to it
got his
against
ass beat.
Usman. Walked out to Usman with that song, and has not since beaten one single ass after dropping that track.
Facts. And on that note, all right, y'all boys.